guys, happy Sunday. It's Magical Mystery Tour log number 5. It's lots happening with our adventure. I have some on camera and off camera background. So we found out a lot of things have been happening. Daniel's the pills aren't working. He's still not sleeping. He's being tormented by the woman, and they're actually writing through him in the journal. 2 times now we know that he had visions of him and the old woman with other people and beings, and things happened. The first time with Buster, when the woman screamed something at the dog in a different language, and they ended up having to put Buster down because he got sick. We don't know what happened in between there with the dog because those pages were missing, so I'm assuming there's a lot more to that story. Then secondly, with Lonnie and his jerk bully buddies, Daniel wished him dead and had a dream about the woman and them that night at Pendle Hill, and the next day they disappeared and no one knew what happened. So that's very interesting. Off camera, I'm terrible with names, so I didn't put 2 and 2 together, so thank you, Sarah, for pointing this out, because it all became very clear after you said it. The Devices were a family in the Pendle witch trials back in the 1600s, and I actually read a lot about this when I had like a 2 years where I was reading everything I could get my hands on non-fiction witch stuff, and I totally remember reading about the Pendle witches. So anyway, in the 1600s, it's one of the most prominent witch trials of that time in England. It kind of all started with Alison and a peddler named John Law, who we actually heard about in the journal. Long story short, she basically had some issues with John, as Alison did, Alison Device, and she supposedly hexed him, and he had a stroke, and she was put on trial for witchcraft, and there was a lot more to it. There was an old 80-year-old woman, Elizabeth, who went, if I remember right, she went by the name Demdike. She was kind of the quote-unquote ringleader, and everything stemmed from her. There were a couple Elizabeths, who we've heard now in the journal as well, a couple Annes, a Jeanette, so we know that Jeanette was a real person also, and the Justice of the Peace at the time in Pendle Hill was Roger Knowles, or Noel, so that's also historically correct. I'm guessing that Mark Noel, Jeanette's crush, was the son, and the elder Noel that the woman spoke about in the journal was the Justice of the Peace, Roger, or whatever name they're going to use for our mystery, but in real life it was Roger. So the one thing to note, and it seems to be consistently correct with this story, is the Pendle witches had a thing with men. Anytime they didn't do what they thought they should do, they supposedly used witchcraft to help that along. So that actually is consistent with them placing the spell with moon magic and the symbols on Mark Noel, and it also is consistent with what she said that she was going to do to John Law if he gave her any guff. So that is all real and true. The clipping of the murder, Leonard Knoll, in the 1800s, I'm going to go out on a limb, and my guess right now is that there's actually hex on that entire line, because I'm going to guess that Leonard Knoll is a descendant of Roger, and if that's his name, and Mark, who we know about. So we'll see if that actually gets revealed later. I don't know if that story is true. I didn't do enough research into it to see if I could find a story that was similar, but we do know that the Pendle witches are real, so let's see what happens today. We're in October. October 12th. Actually, October 21st. We did 12th yesterday. Feeling a bit better now. Slept a lot. I think the pills are helping. I'm so tired, but they say that's the pills. So sleepy. Mom's so worried and Dad is so mad. I don't want them to fight, but I don't know what to say when they yell. Dreams are dreams or signs. Write them down. The old lady says be mad, and I'm mad. I wake up hurting. Trees and crows. Reaching out and they fall apart. There's blood. I remember hand on a face, hand eating eyes, slow, sleepy sleep. Alright, there's a drawing of what looks like might be gravestones. And then there's 2 pages missing, so we don't know what happened there. November 5th. Alright, says, "Shutty up, Grandma. You're not me. I'm saying what? Mom and Dad are yelling again. I don't remember. I saw the pictures of the puppy. I didn't do it, Grandma. I didn't do it. Grandma did it. I didn't. I've read a lot of crazy writing in you diary. Sorry for that. In you diary. Sorry for that. Right now, I feel like myself a little bit, and I want to say what's really happening. The cops brought me home. They found me in the park. I was playing with a dead cat. I don't remember any of these things, but that's what they say. I read you back, diary, and I know I'm crazy. No, I'm not crazy. You're crazy. Shut up, Grandma. Shut up." Okay, this is in different handwriting again. And I'm going to say that Daniel's actually referring to the old woman as Grandma now and is talking to her in real time, like a voice in his head. This is in different handwriting. "You will not believe it, John. No, you will not. Dead all these years. Noel shirted us up with all his big words and grabbed our little boy from Jeanette like he had a right. He be ours now. Jeanette is waiting again, and we cannot have that. Elizabeth and I went to talk to Noel kindly. He much as spat at us. Told him he is treading thin these moons. Said kindly he should pay attention to the boy and our Jeanette. He drew up upright and looked down on us. Between you and me, he should not have acted the prince on us. Who is a prince when we have his child? How dare he teach some lessons? We will do, Liz and me, spin some unfriendly folks around who need teaching. I do not want to hurt the boy, but if the father does not listen, things looking better. Young Noel coming back around as he should, needs a little held soft as he is, but Jeanette insists, yes she does. Liz gives I don't know what that says. Liz gives something. Says leave it be. But who knows better than Grams? You know, John, you know nobody knows better than me. Big scene. Father Noel takes the boy from us, from Jeanette. Says curses on us. Calls in the law. Says he will teach us lessons. How he does not know lessons. How he has not learned. How his child suffers again. Okay, I wonder if she's calling Daniel John. That's interesting. Okay, so December 4th. We're going to the hospital today. I ate 8 pills today. They searched me, took away everything that was mine. The old lady kept you hidden, diary. They just didn't see it tucked into my pants. Got everything else, though. There's a group of people standing around with something that looks like power, maybe? I don't know. December 7th. I had my first session with Dr. Sullivan today. He asked me a lot of questions about my trip to England and what happened. I told him what I told the doctors there, that I didn't remember. Then he started asking about Mom and Dad and how they're doing. Thanks a lot, Dr. Sullivan, as if I don't feel bad enough about what's happening. Of course they're upset, and it's all my fault. He asked me to start writing in a journal. I didn't tell him about you, diary, because he'd think I was crazy, so I'll write some lines for him there, and he can think what he wants. December 8th. I'm getting worse. I'll be writing some stuff for Dr. Sullivan, and then my mind will start to wander, and things will get all fuzzy, and then call for supper time, and I'll see all these weird drawings all over my wall. I don't know what they mean, but I can't help writing them down. Like I have to. Like I have no choice. They put me on some different pills so I don't feel so tired all the time. But now I just feel really weird and achy and keep hearing that old lady in my head. Alright, I'm going to read one more day, December 9th. Mom and Dad came by to visit, and we sat and talked with Dr. Sullivan. He told them about the drawings, and Dad got mad and told me to snap out of it and stop making trouble. I tried to say that's all I want, but I don't know how. I can't stop. I'm having these weird blackouts, and when I come awake, I'm sitting on the floor scratching out more symbols on the wall. Then they had me wait outside so Dr. Sullivan could talk to my parents. It was rotten, like I was the bad kid waiting outside the principal's office. I couldn't hear what they were saying, but now Dad sounds pretty sore with Mom, and I think Mom was crying a bit. Dr. Sullivan was quiet. Then Mom and Dad left, and when I looked out the window, I could see they were yelling as they got in the car. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. I don't mean to be crazy, but this place is scaring me, and I'm scaring me, and missing pages. Let me see, this is a picture of him. So there you have it. We have missing pages to pick up with tomorrow. Lots of overlap of real history and this interesting story. So I'm gonna guess that somehow he got kind of possessed with this spirit, and she's following him and he's reliving things. But I'm sure there's a lot more to come, so we'll see what happens next. I hope you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you later.